The V12 is not dead yet, and Ferrari, known for iconic engines of this very kind, is back with a new supercar that makes the case for, quote, the few. The few who can afford one, sure, but also the few who understand and appreciate the magnitude of such awesome gasoline-sourced, naturally aspirated power. This is the all-new 12Cilindri. It's right there in the name. Say it in English, and it's a little clumsy. Say it in Italian, and it's also a little bit awkward. I've been working on my Italian every day since college, and the fact that I can't roll my R's probably doesn't help. Either way, the 12Cilindri is all about the engine. The 6.5-liter V12 under that long hood is the latest iteration of Ferrari's iconic F140 HD, found currently in the Purosangue crossover thing. Redline is an astounding 9,500 RPM, and you have about 819 horsepower to play with, and 80% of the 500 pound-feet of torque is available at a very low 2,500 RPM, meaning you'll be able to get near electric levels of instantaneous torque delivery. 0 to 60 miles per hour happens in 2.9 seconds. There is also a drop-top Spider version for those who prefer an open-air audible concert, but if you don't want civilians peeping into your very expensive Ferrari and seeing who exactly is behind the wheel, there is a glass roof on the hardtop model, giving passengers the ability, and drivers, to look up at the sky above. Passengers also have their own dedicated touchscreen as part of the dual binnacle setup that is a very big throwback to older models. The interior is modern but very Ferrari. It uses a mix of recycled materials in certain elements, and you have standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, though they didn't say whether that was wireless or not, but that is really not the point of this car. Ferrari made great strides in tuning the noise you hear inside that cabin, with resonators positioned in strategic locations to help the intake tracks make richer noises in all drive modes. Here's what that sounds like. Transmission comes from cars like the SF90 Stradale, an 8-speed wet dual-clutch automatic that now has 5% shorter gear ratios at the lower gear levels and funnels 12% more torque to the rear wheels. The 12Cilindri is a front-engine, rear-wheel drive beast, giving drivers a hoot of a time if they choose to drive it like it was meant to be on closed courses. If you are a Ferrari owner and you are watching this video, please note that I do not recommend you pushing those cars ever on public roads. We all know it usually ends up happening there. If you are one of the few who doesn't need to ask how much a car like this costs, well, too bad, I'm telling you anyway. Though we don't have direct US pricing at this moment, if you convert the cost in Europe, it comes out to roughly $417,000 for a base model, while the Spider comes in around $465,000. Both variations will be available as early as this fall.